Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 178 of NasCard Radio. I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA and White Castle Hall of Famer, Logan. How are you today, tonight, tomorrow?
I'm feeling like a best offer.
And then we're super excited to have our special guest host, Texas Tornado Kin. How are you?
Good. Happy to be back with you guys.
What's that, Logan?
I'm just pointing down.
Okay, gotcha. The Hollywood Squares. All right, so again, this is NasCar Radio, where trading cards and racing meet. We have a amazing show for everybody today. Got some awesome news to reveal here. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to the Racing Car Hall of Fame. The voting is in. It's over. Tabulated. We had our independent accounting firm verify the results. So those are in, and then we'll finish the show with King's Court.
Yeah, I think it was Dewey, Cheatham, and Hal, I think, from Three Stooges.
It might have been. So,
okay.
Well, all right, we got to give a real, I guess, a recap here or upcoming races. I mean, we have a few things going on down in Daytona, so I'll cover them real quick because we're recording a day late, and we're going to get this turned around for everybody tonight, tomorrow. So over in the Craftsman Truck Series, race number 1, that's fresh from Florida 250 at Daytona International Speedway. That's going to be Friday night, February 16th at 7:30 p.m. Moving over to Xfinity Series, race number 1, the United Rentals 300 at Daytona International Speedway. That is Saturday, February 17th at 5 p.m. The Big E. Race number 1 in the Cup Series, Daytona 500, Daytona International Speedway. That's going to be Sunday, February 18th at 2:30 p.m. Formula 1, we're still waiting. Their first race is Saturday, March 2nd at 10 a.m. And in IndyCar, race number 1 is going to be Sunday, March 10th at the streets of St. Petersburg, and the time is to be determined. But it's going to be on NBC Peacock, so... All right, that's all housekeeping there.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, we're back. You know, we're starting with NASCAR, and then we're gonna fill in there with F1, IndyCar. So, you got any news you want to hit real quick on this?
Yes, I can hit some news real quick. First of all, our good friend and friend of the show, Misha Wines, is down in Daytona right now. He's with the Daytona 500 contest winner from Panini, so he's down there and the duels are actually on as we speak. I've got them on my TV. It's race 2 right now. So shout out to Misha down there in Daytona. I know he's having a blast. He got there this morning, and he's already sent us a picture of the king, so that was pretty cool. Secondly,
that means we didn't win.
Huh?
That means we didn't win the VIP.
No, but on a side note, real quick on that, I won a box of 2023 Donruss. So that was a tier 1 prize. So it looks like I missed going to Daytona by that much. so I barely missed. So
go.
So anyway, the other news I want to cover real quick. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the Petties being in NASCAR. Of course, we all know that Lee Petty won his very first race in Heidelberg Raceway in 1949. I think it was October 2nd. And you know, that was, like I said, it was his very first Cup race. And another thing too, hashtag Petty75, just so you know. And secondly, this is also Hendrick Motorsports' 40th anniversary in NASCAR this year. And of course, we all know that Jeff Bodine won their very first race in Martinsville in 1984 in April. Where I'm going with this real quick is I'm hoping that we see some kind of card sets or maybe some insert sets or something in the 2024 product. So that's where I'm going with that. So that's the news I wanted to show, and that's all the news I've got right now.
All right. Well, okay. I was gonna say for that, I can't believe Hendrick is 40. It'd be great if they had a card set out of Hendrick, card set out of Petty Legacy Motorsports or something. But again, we got. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I've missed a couple of housekeeping things. We want to thank our sponsor, Panini America, and then the shout outs to Used to Be Fast, Kyle Sachs, Jason Freeman, Tim Mosley, High Octane Cards, Robbie's Hobbies, Kyle Katz, and Misha Wines for the YouTube comments. We read them, so please leave them. Appreciate it. And then if you love the show, give us a like. If you really love the show, subscribe, and we'll give you a shout out on the show.
Yep.
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
You said Heidelberg for Lee Petty. Was that Heidelberg, Pennsylvania?
Yes. In Pittsburgh.
I used to live like 2 miles from Heidelberg.
And you never even knew that till just now.
I did not then. I knew there was a track there. I like follow a page on Facebook and all. Anyway, just curious.
NASCAR was everywhere, man.
It was. So
that's crazy. Kim there's
today.
actually a Speedway shopping center is what it's called, I believe, where it used to be.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool. So that's cool. So you were today years old when you learned that. Congratulations.
All right, now let's go with the big elephant news in the room here. IndyCar is getting a card set from Parkside Cards. It's a pretty big checklist, and it's going to be out in hobby and hanger boxes. So that's pretty awesome. That's Ken, I know you were super excited.
Oh yes, I'm very excited. This is the first like pack released set of IndyCar cards, you know, featuring current drivers. There have been some interim, there have been some like box sets and things like that. But this is the first like pack released set featuring current drivers since 2007. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you don't see any of that Rittenhouse stuff.
No, the boxes are usually on eBay when you can find them. They want at least $150, and I mean, really, all you're going to pull from there that can even help get that would be the Danica Patrick autograph or the Dan Weldon autograph.
So I was looking at, I think it was the other day, boxes. They were like $350 or something like that. There was an archives box that went for like $500, which I actually thought was maybe that was a steal, but because that has all the autos. It's like a master set.
Yeah, it is, and it. I think that was a steal. I agree.
So, yeah. So February 8th, the release from Parkside Cards, and they're excited to announce the first ever NTT IndyCar Series trading cards. And so we have the checklist here, and I thought, we can scroll through here. And I don't know how you want to break this down, but it looked like it was 162 cards in the base set.
Yes, 162 card base set. You got 37 different drivers, which is, you know, impressive. I mean, you only get 33 drivers even make the Indianapolis 500, which is the biggest race of the year. So each of the 37 drivers has 2 driver cards. And again, the images we've seen are just what's limited to what was on, you know, on the release on Parkside Cards. So although this does say driver and car, I did not notice that. So anyway, 37 drivers, 2 driver cards, you know, cards 1 and 2 are Pillow, 3 and 4 Dixon, and that's how it works all the way through card. What would that be? 74, right? 74. And then you got a 2023. After that, you got a 2023 race winners subset. And then you have a couple of random cards there, a logo card, and then an Indianapolis 500 logo card. And then you have the 33 drivers, actually technically 34 because you got the bumped qualifier.
Wow.
So the Indianapolis 500 qualifier subset. And then what appears to be, and this, what I was saying is this just looks like it's another cars subset. So I don't know, you know, maybe one is just the car. The earlier one is just the car. And then maybe this has pictures of more of the pit crew. Yeah, we haven't seen pictures, so we don't truly know what those are.
I'll go through the pictures that are on the website when we go look at the hobby boxes and the hangers. There's, I think, like 5 or 6 cards, images in there. So,
And then yeah, so that's a 162 card set, and then with like personally, I'm going to try to complete the master set minus the autographs, and then minus there are going to be some serial numbered parallels apparently, or at least some parallels. I guess can't remember if they said they were serial numbered, but with the insert sets, I mean, you're easily looking at another 150 cards, so you're looking at well over 300 cards to complete that set alone, and I'm pretty confident that would make it the biggest IndyCar set ever.
so there's the marquee moments. Looks like it's going to be insert. The race events is another one, which looks like is the 17 races during the season. The pit pass. There's the Indy NXT.
So that's like the equivalent of the Xfinity series for NASCAR. That's the feeder series.
So it says there parallels blue to 100, blue to 10, and gold 101s for that sub series. Their helmet hardware.
Those will be nice.
And then iconic images.
So those all appear to be obviously tracks of some sort.
Podiums. And then we have the signatures. And then we also show parallels, blue to 99, black to 10, and gold 101. That's interesting that they would have blue 99 here, but then they'd have blue to here for the yeah.
And what that does, I mean, what that tells me is you would think though that the base, unless there is no base autograph, if the base is going to be more than the blue, it does seem like the production run on this set is going to be pretty high, which to me is a good thing because I want there to be more of it out there.
Right. And, when we get to the hobby boxes, there's 2 autos per box. So there's the Americana. It looks like it's just Alex Palou. 3 relics. And then Redemption looks pretty cool. There's a 2023 Indy 500 signed flag, helmet, milk jar, an IndyCar Indy 500 4-pack of tickets.
Yeah, and that says 2024. I noticed. So you better open your boxes soon, or you're gonna have an expired redemption real fast.
Those are the ones where you just want to definitely open them because I think they had that. Well, I know they did back like in 2000. Upper Deck, SP Authentic. I think there was like uncut sheets and there was other cool stuff in there. So, but that's the checklist there. Let me close that and let's go to the website and investigate those a little more. Let's make sure that's coming through. Okay, so we have the hobby boxes. So this is the 2024 IndyCar Collection Volume 1 hobby box. Says shipping in March 2024. It's basically $90. And in the details, hobby box contains 20 packs with 8 cards a pack, and you're guaranteed 2 autographs. And then there's also says about exclusive features, autographed memorabilia, chance to own signed racing history, relics cards, authentic brick from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There's a pre-order here. So here are the cards, the Alex Palou. And here's another image here.
So that top one would be the NXT because I believe that's Nolan Siegel. I can't quite read it.
Yep, that is correct.
And then the one behind that is a
leg.
That's not the pit pass. That's the gosh darn it. Maybe that is the pit pass one. No, because iconic images. Okay, I'm not sure which one that is. I was trying to figure it out, but
so here's some more images. Paddle Award. There's your pit pass there.
And there is one pit pass card for every driver that's also in the base set.
And then you have some of the cars here and what the wrapper would look like. And so these are boxed. There's a pre-order here. They are packaged 24 boxes to a case for hobby boxes.
That's a big case, man.
And
Yeah,
an
you could hurt
expensive
somebody
case.
if that fell on you. That hurt you.
I don't think many people are buying these by the case.
I don't think so either, unfortunately.
I don't think we're buying a case combined, are we, guys?
No.
I'm buying one box right now. It's all I can afford.
So then the other configuration is the retail hanger, and that is configured. That's averaging 25 cards, including 2 foil base parallels, 1 marquee moments, 1 race events, 1 pit pass card, and a chance for an autograph every 18 packs.
That's not too bad. I think that's probably a little bit better than what Panini does with their blaster boxes and their hanger packs.
I'm not sure now. Those are boxed 50 to a case.
That's a lot of boxes.
A lot of hangers, yeah.
So I did do some quick math the day this came out. It depends on what route you're wanting to collect or whatnot, but I do recall that I did the math on the price per card. The hobby boxes, the price per card is higher, but you are guaranteed those 2 autographs per box. Is where on the hanger boxes, I didn't even see that they had them. So you said they were, I believe, 1 in 18 boxes. And yes. I don't know how the inserts fall, but yeah, if you just want to have some of these, the 25 count boxes should be lower as far as your price per card. And it was a significant difference. It was like 15 cents or so a card, the difference. That was just, again, something I worked out in my head when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to purchase.
Well, I've got one comment here. I think you'll be able to figure out which pack has the authentic brick in it from the Brickyard.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
I think you'll be able to figure that one out, unless they have these really big, thick decoy cards in there that weigh a lot. Who knows?
Okay, so one other thing I saw on Twitter the other day from Parkside Cards, and it didn't have anything to do with IndyCar, but it got my spidey sense tingling here. And so this was the tweet here, that Pronto is back and better than ever. Collect 6 cards each week featuring your favorite players, moments, and highlights from the women's soccer. So I didn't realize they did those. I didn't know if you saw that they had done what they call, so we have Tops Now, which is the weekly thing. We have Panini Instant, and Parkside does Pronto.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Did you notice? I saw it. I didn't really look too deeply into it. Do we believe that those are like just post events, or are they just it does say season. So they are more like an instant and less like a Tops Living where there's just 6 new cards per week.
Right. So it looks like you could buy the whole year, prepay for the year, or so they're showing here. Now this is a soccer version, and we don't know if they're going to do IndyCar, but it makes sense for them to do it. And so we're going just by soccer here as an example. It's 320, and it mentions that there are weekly cards pre-ordered and shipped to you as they print for the entire 2024 NWSL season. Each week we will curate 5 cards, no fewer, maybe more, celebrating the season's best moments. And so they kind of break the pricing transparency, and I think that's awesome. So basically they're saying, okay, 28 weeks at $10 a card, and then shipping for those 28 weeks, $5. So totals like $419.72, and then they're giving you a break at $320 here. So
$10 a card or $10 a week, basically $10 for your 6 cards or 5 cards.
I think that's right. Because it only says 20, so $10 a week, and they're saying 5 cards, no fewer than 5 a week. And again, this is for the soccer, but I didn't know. I mean, I knew Parkside create had soccer cards, but I didn't know they had this Pronto subscription. So
Well,
that's very interesting. So maybe they'll bring this over to IndyCar. How cool would that be?
and keep in mind too that said 28 weeks. Well, in theory, for what it's worth, that should be cheaper for IndyCar because we only have 17 events.
Right.
Mhm.
And honestly, we have 17 events, but we have the Iowa's a double header. You have a race Saturday and a race Sunday. And then I can't remember if there are any other double headers off the top of my head. So, it seems like it would make that potentially, if they were to run that, just a little more affordable. But yeah, I mean, that's something that it's a pricey little add-on, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to be hard pressed to not, do that because that's just something else. And, we've heard this is a 3-year contract. I saw that on Twitter, and, hopefully this works out great and it goes much longer than that. But if they don't, we have another 15 years without cards. I want to have all the cards I can get.
Yes.
Well, I was just thinking, and this is where I think, Panini dropped the ball with the Panini Instant for NASCAR, but you have guys, with first wins, and then being able to collect, say your driver is whoever, and they win, and you collect just their. I mean, if you don't buy I'm sure you don't have to buy the whole set. You can buy the ones that you want, but say you just wanted to buy the Pelos or just the Scott Dixons or something, So I just think that would be pretty cool. Or first time winners, just their cards. I know I had done that in 2017. Austin Dillon had his first wins, and Ryan Blaney had his first win. Uh, Stenhouse had his first win. So,
Well, and what I was thinking was, look, it's very unlikely because I think it's only happened. What we hear in NASCAR a couple times? What if you have a Shane Van Gisbergen incident where the guy comes in and in his first darn race doesn't have any cards, but in his first darn race comes in and wins? There's a first call. I would think they would try to do drivers if they just had their first card. For example, in this set is Linus Lundqvist. He didn't start driving an IndyCar last year until later in the season. So, in theory, if that happened this year, you could actually have cards of the driver, even if it's not a guy that comes in and wins, but you could have the cards of the driver, throw him a car, makes first IndyCar start, I mean,
Well,
Tops does that with F1,
Well, here's a crossover that we're not even thinking about. Kyle Larson, Indy 500.
yeah, he'll definitely probably, if they do Pronto, then sign me up. I want a Larson Pronto.
Yeah, me too.
Hadn't even thought of that, but that's a fantastic call. And you're just not likely going to get. I mean, you had a few years ago you had Kurt Busch. Well, that I know of, there's no cards that picture him into that IndyCar. AJ Allmendinger was also in that race, and I think he might have some cards out there where he was with IndyCar, but they're not that particular race specific. I mean, those guys were in the same race, so that's a great point that I hadn't even thought about.
No, this is awesome. Hopefully they'll have stuff for sale at the tracks, maybe at the Indy 500. I'm wanting IndyCar to do very well and put pressure on Panini to step up their game and get their roadblocks out of the way. And the more, I think competition's better for everybody, right? So,
yeah, hopefully, like I said, I'm hopeful. I think all of us suspect that the success of the Ganassi cards last year had a little something to do with this, and I think you know some things that I don't know, and vice versa. That might be the case. Did you want me to go over the part where we talked about like first cards for drivers?
Sure.
Yeah,
You want me to bring up the checklist, or?
No, I don't think it's necessary unless you just want to put it up there, which is fine. So we do have 37 drivers in this set, as we mentioned earlier. So 22 drivers of the 37, this will be their first mainstream U.S. released cards. And by that, I mean something that was issued in a pack in the United States. So 22 of those, and there are some notable names on there that don't have any mainstream trading cards. Some of these guys have like the green light cards that y'all have discussed, like after race wins. Some of these guys have like some track giveaway, like Cooper Tires Road to Indy cars. things like that, but nothing like mainstream. And some of the guys that have not had a mainstream card, Joseph Newgarden, who is a 2-time series champ and the reigning Indy 500 champion, Alexander Rossi, who won the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 in his first attempt, Pato O'Ward, who is, arguably the series' most popular driver. Scott McLaughlin won a couple races last year, and so you guys highlight him. He's got a couple of Australian Supercars cards, but you can't just go on eBay and grab those if you want them.
No.
You got Colton Herta, who was rumored to be the guy going to F1 if Andretti went. I don't know that was true, but that was the big rumor because he does race for Andretti. Ryan Hunter-Reay, who is an Indy 500 winner, a series champion. He does not have any mainstream cards. Simon Pagino, also a series champ and an Indy 500 champ. And Takuma Sato, who's a 2-time Indy 500 champion. Now, he has some of those Futura cards. You guys have talked about those before, but I don't consider those mainstream. They weren't released in the States. Obviously, IndyCar is a stateside for the most part thing. So, and then there are 15 drivers that have existing cards, but over half of these drivers, this will be their first mainstream card of any sort. A lot of these guys will sign through the mail. So, there's that. Also keep in mind that IndyCar does every race weekend. They do a big signing where all the drivers are there. May only be 45 minutes and you may have to be there 2 hours before it to get in line, but they do that. So, this is everybody that was in the field last year, unless I'm just not thinking of someone plus, because you only had 33 guys in the 33 drivers in the 500 alone, and you got 37 drivers here. I did want to see what you guys thought, and I put this question on Twitter, and then I just kind of screenshotted my tweet and then put it on Instagram. What current IndyCar driver do you think has the most cards? And I took this information straight from Trading Card Database, so it will be directionally correct. I mean, it may not be down to the number. Who would you think? And I can already tell you both your answers. The answer's no. So
Marcus Armstrong.
That is actually the right answer.
I was going to say that.
By leaps and bounds. He is more than double the next driver. But go ahead and explain the reason. I don't need to do it.
Because he was in 2020 Chrome F1.
Yeah, he's in F1.
He's in 2020, 2021, and 2022. He has 423 cards. The next is 193, Roman Grosjean.
That's a NasCardRadio buttload.
Who was in 2020 and 2021. The next is Christian Lundgaard, who was in 2020 and 2021 F1. And then the only other guys over 100 are actually the next one. The fourth one has NASCAR cards and still has some coming out.
Kimi Räikkönen?
Santino Ferrucci.
Yeah.
He has 168, and then the next is 122 cards. And this guy, he's in the set, and I think he's only driven one race in IndyCar, but that's Yuri Vips because he was in F1. And then the only other guy that wasn't in NASCAR F1 over 100 is Marco Andretti with 116. He was in Goodwin Champions. So anyway, I just thought that was a cool little piece of trivia, especially that Marcus Armstrong, the reigning Rookie of the Year for the series, more than double any of the other drivers.
That's because I picked up some of those 2020 Chrome F1s. That's why.
Oh, I have.
And I know we've talked about him, with us here on NASCAR Radio covering F1 IndyCar and NASCAR. That I knew that. But when you were talking about it, and I didn't think about this until you said, like, okay, who's going to be the first one to have a TTM set, an autographed IndyCar set? So that's a great challenge. So, or a great quest, that is a good quest and very doable. So,
if you can get to tracks, it's doable because my understanding is Ganassi guys, Ganassi does not support them signing through the mail. Like, you can't just mail it to the Ganassi shop and they'll return it. Now I know Will Power, like for example, will sign. I've seen him post pictures or videos of him signing. I think last year before he went to Indy. But yeah, some of them, may not do it through the mail, and some of them are kind of grumpy, and some of them won't even be in a race this year.
Like
Some of
I
these,
didn't say it was going to be super easy.
yeah,
but
it would be fascinating to see if you could do it, because like Benjamin Peterson, unfortunately, he's not in the series this year, so he would be tough. But yeah, that would be. I mean, it'd be something that I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm going to at least do what I can, but I'm also realistic. I wonder what the possibility is of doing that. So those were some of the things that I had as far as the breakdowns of this set. Super excited about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even have other words. I'm just
I'm trying to think of what else.
Excited.
I know we're coming up here to try to earmark some time for the other stuff. Anything else for IndyCar? I know. Oh, I know what I was going to say is like, with this whole Andretti F1 deal that maybe more folks in the U.S. turn away from F1 and come to IndyCar. So
that would be my hope. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that seem bitter about it, and I get that. Obviously, to me, IndyCar racing the racing itself is a much better product than Formula One. So hopefully some of these folks will come over. And you know what? A lot of what I think yes, Drive to Survive was huge for F1, but so were trading cards coming out during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, one of the challenges would be that it's not one of the mainstream card manufacturers. Obviously, F1 came out with Topps. So again, came out during the pandemic. So kind of a perfect storm of things. But yeah, you're right. I hope that maybe this can get some more people interested in IndyCar, because to me, it is the most enjoyable series to watch race.
Well, it's definitely a lot more competitive than F1. So I know I'll put me in that camp where I was really totally disappointed with F1 with that Andretti ruling. And to basically do what they did, we got 3 races in the U.S. for F1. All the IndyCar races are in the U.S. pretty much. Maybe they have something in Canada, but that they're more spread out in the U.S. and if they wanted the U.S. market, well, that wasn't the way to do it. So,
one additional note on IndyCar news: if you guys may or may not seen, the season-ending race was supposed to be the streets of Nashville this year, and they've moved it to Nashville Super Speedway because of construction for the Titans' new stadium.
Yep. I saw that today, actually.
But I'm happy to have another oval on the schedule, because it's weighted too heavily toward road and street courses, in my opinion.
So I've got one other comment about all this. IndyCar cards are a lot like NASCAR cards in the fact that they're affordable, which makes them a great collectible if you're a collector. It's not inflated or I should say overinflated like Formula One cards. So that's another positive, I think, for IndyCar cards.
And like I said, if you get to races, a lot of these drivers are very personable. I don't know how it compares to the NASCAR guys. I haven't met but a couple of NASCAR drivers in my life, so I can't speak. But in general, the IndyCar drivers are at least bare minimum good with fans. Some are great, some are grumpy, but you got 37 drivers in this set. Not everyone is going to be, happy all the time. Things happen.
They do.
But in general, most of these guys are very good to the fans, very personable. And like I said, they do track signings. If you can get a pit pass, a lot of these guys will sign in the garage area. So there's a lot of options. And part of what got me into IndyCar so much was when I went to Indianapolis in 2007 and had a pit pass, and I met some of these guys, and they were just Dario Franchitti was the first one I met, and was just an absolute, just the nicest guy. And Dan Weldon, I met him later. I met him, unfortunately, the Indy 500. I met him his second one that he won. Unfortunately, it was his last 500 before the Las Vegas incident. But again, just a super nice guy. And there's just a lot of that. So
yeah, and that's also a positive. That's different, from Formula One, because I think access to Formula One drivers is like very, very, very limited. I mean, even commentators can't get into certain areas, much less fans for Formula One. So, yeah, that's another positive for sure.
All right, let's wrap that up here. So we're super excited about Parkside producing IndyCar, and we'll, I guess we'll see next month how that rolls. So looking forward to that release, and we'll see if we get some more information as it becomes available. All right, let's move on to our next subject, the racing card, right? Racing Card Hall of Fame.
Yes.
All right. You want to start? We'll start the countdown from number 10. How do you want to do this here?
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for voting. We couldn't do this without you guys out there. We really appreciate it. What we've done here is we're going to start at number 10 and work our way up to number 1 for all the inductees. And this is going to be going by vote totals, in which we're also going to show the vote totals later on after we show these 10 inductees. So we're, like I said, we're going to start at the bottom at number 10, the card that got the 10th place amount of votes. So I guess Val is on his phone. So anyway, like I said, we really appreciate you guys with the Racing Card Hall of Fame. So yeah, let's get going, Val, if you're ready. All right, number 10. This is the 1989 Max Dale Earnhardt number 3. It sounds like we've got some applause and some things going on in the background. That's pretty cool.
It's trying to be a drum roll.
It's a drum roll. Okay, drum roll, please. There we go.
You ready for number 9?
Oh, no. I was going to mention this.
Okay.
Talk about the card real quick. Of course, everybody knows this is Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s first pack released card in 1989, because he didn't have a card in 1988 because of licensing issues. It's a beautiful card. It's orange border, and it's really hard to gem in a graded form, but it's a great card. So yeah, that is number 10. All right, so let's move on to number 9. All right, number 9. This is the 1969 Panini Campo. I believe that's pronounced Campionini. I know I'm butchering the heck out of that. Dello Mario Andretti card number 117. This is actually a sticker, and this is Mario's very first, trading card or sticker ever produced by Panini. Of course, like I said, it's from 1969. What that translates into, it translates into Champions of Sport, for those of you who may not know that. And that set featured famous athletes from around the world, and it's a huge set. It's like 496 stickers. And there's a lot of cool other stickers in there as well. But this is probably his most popular, famous card or sticker. So let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is the 2000 SP Authentic Sign of the Times Dale Earnhardt number DE. And of course, this card is just a beautiful card. It's part of a 59 card autographed card set. And of course, this is the key card to completing the set. And it's got a large, bold signature. It's a beautiful card. If you have one of these cards, you know how great this card is. And of course, this card follows at number 8. It's one of his most desirable cards, by the way. So moving on to number 7. And if anybody has any comments they want to make, feel free to comment as we go along through here. So number 7, this is 1996 Press Pass Burning Rubber Dale Earnhardt card number BR3. Not BR549, but it's BR3. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. But anyway, in 1996, Press Pass was the very first company to put any kind of memorabilia whatsoever on a trading card. And they started with race-used tires, of course. And then, of course, everybody else started putting uniforms and doing everything else. But Press Pass was the very first company. They were a trailblazing company, very innovative. And this is probably the greatest card from that set, of course. and it's Dale Earnhardt's card. It's got the race shoes rubbers you can see there. All right, so number 6. Number 6 is the 1988 Max Richard Petty card number 43. Now, as we all know, this card came from the Charlotte set only. It was not in the very first printing, the Myrtle Beach set. But again, this is Richard Petty's very first mainstream card. And of course, it replaced the Daytona International Speedway card that was in the original printing of the Myrtle Beach 88 Max set. So I guess where I'm going with that is this card is a little bit more limited. I won't say it's probably a lot limited, but it's a little bit more limited than all the other cards in the set, just because it was only available in the second printing. But like I said, it is the King's first card, and if you're doing any kind of TTM, that's a cool card to send in and get done, since it doesn't have any high gloss. He autographs those things really, really nicely.
Gotta love that back. All that stats.
Yeah, it's got all the stats from when he started in 1958. So yeah, that's a cool card. In fact, I had sent, when Val and I went to his museum, I left a couple of those cards there for him to send back to me. So that was pretty cool. All right, so let's go on to number 5. This is the 1987 World of Outlaws Jeff Gordon card number 52. And these cards were available like at souvenir stands at World of Outlaws cards back in the late 80s. And I think actually you could buy those sets, like even you could buy them like an 88, 89 if you went to a World of Outlaws race. It's not like they were selling like crazy. But anyway, this is, of course, is the key card in that set. And like I said, that set was sold, or the cards were sold as a set in a box at the track. But it's one of Jeff's most popular cards, Jeffy Poo. So pretty cool card right there. So that was number 5.
I think they only made like 8,000 of those sets.
They didn't make a whole lot, and they just didn't fly off the shelves. If I remember correctly, because I bought one when they had a World of Outlaws race here. I don't think Jeff was in it though. It was pretty pricey at the time. It was like $25 or something. They were pretty proud of them.
Yeah, we covered the 87, 88 World Outlaws in episode 40. Yeah, I want to say those they made 10,000, and then 2,000 of them were uncut sheets, and then the rest were boxed up, like you were saying.
Yeah, you are correct, sir. Oh, you are correct.
All right, let's keep it moving.
All right, keep it moving. Card number 4, inductee number 4. This is the 1983 Uno Dale Earnhardt card number 27. This card right here, a lot of people, including myself and Val, I don't know about Ken, but we consider this Dale Earnhardt's rookie card right here, the 1983 Uno card. It's very rare. In fact, when I started collecting racing cards in 1988, it was like maybe a couple years after that, we didn't even know this set existed till all of a sudden it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I think it was a promo set, and it was, it just was not given away hardly. But if you're lucky enough to own any of these cards, you know how rare they are. It's a beautiful card. As you can see, you got Earnhardt on there with, he's in Victory Lane with some of the ladies in Victory Lane. And then the back looks like just a regular Uno card from a Uno deck that you would just, one of the playing cards. But it's a beautiful card. It's hard to get gemmed because of the back, because of that black. You'll get a lot of fish eyes and scratches and things on it. So trying to find a gem mint copy is pretty tough. But it's a great card. Everybody wants this card. I think for the most part, this card is probably just about on everybody's want list if you're a racing collector. But yeah, this is card number 4. So cool.
All right, and then number 3.
All right, number 3. Look at that. 1988 Max Dale Earnhardt card number 99. This is the, as they call it, the promo card. This is the card that they printed up. They thought they were going to get Dale Earnhardt Sr. under contract for 1988, and it just didn't happen. So they held him back. And when Max went bankrupt, or I guess, yeah, when went bankrupt, a lot of these cards made it out into the wild. So there's a lot of cards out there, but they're still tough. It's still a card that's like, again, it's like the Uno card. It's on everybody's want list. Everybody wants this card. It's probably maybe a grail card. But it's a beautiful card. As you can see, it's pretty much, in fact, I think it's the same pose that's on the 89 Max. I think it's cropped maybe a little bit less than the other card. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. But you notice the colors are way different on it too, as well. But there are counterfeits of these cards. We talked about that before here on NASCAR Radio. I'm sure Val probably could tell us the episode.
Actually, I know we have a short on the YouTube channel I think as a reel as well as a small little 1-minute clip for that.
Yeah. So like I said, there are ways to tell. It's pretty easy. The easiest way by far is Kannapolis is misspelled on the back. It goes to show you that people that forge trading cards don't know how to spell. So, but yeah, this is a beautiful card. If you've got one in a PSA 10, man, it's a great card to have. All right, so let's move on to number 2. All right, number 2, 1992 Tracks Richard Petty Dale Earnhardt card number A1. This was the very first year that any NASCAR autographed trading cards were inserted in packs at all. This was the very first time, and this by far is the biggest card. Jeff Gordon also has a card. There's a lot of other good cards in there, but this is the one that everybody wants. I remember when this card came out, even back in 1992, this was like $1,000 card. People were going crazy over this card, and I can see why. I mean, you've got 2 7-time champions. Of course, Dale Earnhardt didn't have 7 championships at that point, but it's a card that everybody wants. I think it's a NASCAR Glamour card. And again, it's one that everybody wants. And it seems like there's a lot out there because you see them on eBay, all the time. But, if you watch eBay real close, you got to watch out, as we've shown before on King's Court. There's some out there that were blank cards and people have forged autographs on them. So you got to watch out for that. Again, if you have any questions on any kind of those things, you can DM myself or Val directly, and we will be glad to help you out if you're, have an issue with a card or want to know more about the cards. But yeah, this is a beautiful card, man. I love this card.
Yeah, this is only 2 cards that are pack certified with dual auto of Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Sr. This one, and then was it a 98 Tradition? I think it is with the 2 of them. But it's a massive, a dual sign by those 2 legends.
Yeah, that other one that you're talking about, you rarely, now that one's tough. You rarely see that one pop up on eBay.
I want to say that's numbered maybe out of 250 or something like that. Maybe it's not numbered, but it is a tough one to find. So, but
very limited. All right. So drum roll for card number 1. I think everybody knows by this time what this card is going to be.
What could it be? What could it be?
Oh, I don't know. What could it be, Ken? Da, 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 da. Here you go. Card number 1. Got the most votes. The 1972 STP Richard Petty without a number on it. Of course, we all know about this card. We all know how tough it is, how it was issued in Daytona in 1972. A lot of them got thrown away. They're very condition sensitive. It's a Mount Rushmore of NASCAR card. It's also a NASCAR Glamour card. It's a card that everybody wants. It's a card to find in high grade. I think there's only one PSA 9 and one PSA 8, and there's like a handful of 7s. So that should tell you how tough this card is, and there's not very many that have been graded. So it is the card. In fact, it's what, like Val says, it's the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle of NASCAR trading cards, in my opinion, in his opinion. We both agree on that. But yeah, this is card number 1. This card got the most votes.
This is the car you acquire and then fly to Randleman to get it autographed in person.
It is, as we all know, people doing that.
Exactly.
Justin Channels.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the list there. Want me to go to the next slide for the results for the
Yeah,
bottom?
yeah. Real quick, we'll go over the voting results real quick. All right, so we're going to start here at 1 through. Oh, I messed that up.
No, this is the bottom. This is from 21 to 40.
Yeah, this should be 21 through 40. As you can see, the very last card that got the least amount of votes was the 96 Upper Deck Dale Earnhardt, number 301. Then from there, this was a surprise to me. The 2011 Wheels Element Chase Elliott Undiscovered Elements, number 99, it only got 1 vote. Then the Max Verstappen from Topps 2020 Chrome also got 1 vote. And then I was also surprised about this one, the 1979 Avalon Hill AJ Foyt, number 21. They only got 2 votes. And then at number 36, the 1983 Uno Darrell Waltrip got 2 votes. And again, more surprises here as well. The 1994 Wheels High Gear Day 1 Gold, Dale Earnhardt Jr. only got 2 votes. The 70, and this one was really surprised me because this is a tough card. The 72 STP Fred Lorenzen Portrait card only got 3 votes. Very, very surprising on that. Then also more surprises. The 1982 Kidco Tough Wheels Dale Earnhardt card also got 3, along with the Wheels High Gear Day 1, just the regular Day 1 Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 183. And then number 31 was the 2000 Upper Deck Jimmy Johnson, which also a lot of these cards surprised me. I would have thought they got a lot more votes, but they only got 4 votes. That was card number 38. And the 1999 Dale Earnhardt Jr. Auto number 5, out of 500, card number 83 got 4 votes. But let me stop right there real quick, because if you notice, the 1999 SP Dale Earnhardt Jr. Auto card and the 2000 Upper Deck Racing Jimmy Johnson card each got 4 votes. And the way that the rules are written for the Racing Card Hall of Fame is the bottom 10 cards will be taken off of the list for next year to allow for new nominees. And there was a tie there. So we had a vote from all the committee members, and the card that got voted off the island was the 2000 Upper Deck Racing Jimmy Johnson card number 38, just so everybody knows. So keep on going real quick. Card number 29, the SP Authentic Jimmy Johnson number 39. Again, more surprises. Only got 5 votes, which was 12.8% of the vote. Along with that was the 2020 Topps Chrome Lewis Hamilton card number 1. Only had 5. And the 1996 Pinnacle Zenith 7 Wonders card of Dale Earnhardt got 5 as well. All these others got 5 that I'm going to mention real quick. The 1992 Grid F1 Michael Schumacher card also got 5. That card, you see that a lot on eBay. I mean, a lot on eBay. I think that card has been graded like crazy. I do not know what the population is, but I'm surprised about that because how popular it seems to be. Also, the 1991 IROC Dale Earnhardt card, and also the 1983 Uno Richard Petty only got 5. So all those got 5 votes. I was amazed that they were that low. And at number 23, the 2002 Choice Rising Stars Kyle Busch, that got 6 votes. The 1996 Press Pass M4 Sheet Metal Dale Earnhardt Sr. M2 card with 7, and the 1988 Max Cover card, which I was surprised he got this many votes. Card number 1B, it's the Charlotte Dimensions 100, got 7 votes. So that's your bottom ones from 21 down to 40. Any comments?
No, I think you pointed out some of the same surprises as I did. Or yeah,
I was surprised at some of those, especially like the Jimmy Johnsons and some of the Earnhardts. I'm surprised they weren't up higher on this list.
I feel like with the Earnhardts, though, you have so many Earnhardts. I mean, how many of them made the top 10? I mean, I think it was like half of the top 10 was Earnhardt. So
Yes, it was.
You know, there he has so many to choose from that I think that, you know, some of them are just sheer numbers. Some of them had to be knocked down pretty good.
Yeah, and of course, it's like a Cubs fan. There's always next year.
Exactly. All right, let's go to the
All right.
top 20.
Yeah, let's look at the top 20. All right, the top 20 start at number 20. The 72 STP Fred Lorenzen with car. As we all know, this is probably the toughest card in the 72 STP set. You know, I've been trying to find one in good shape for years, and now I've waited too long, and I probably can't afford to get one now because it's so rare, and when they do come up, it's so expensive. But number 19 is the 1992 Trax autograph Jeff Gordon number A7. It had 8 votes, and it had 20% of the votes of the voters. And as you guys know, as I've talked about before, that is the very first autograph card that I ever pulled in my life. And when I got it, it's like, who is this guy? I mean, I kind of knew of him from Saturday Night Thunder, but you know, it turned out to be pretty good. So next was at number 18 was the 1991 Pro Set John Force card number 17. It had 8 votes, along with, and this is one of Ken's favorites right here, the 1911 American Tobacco Company T36 Barney Oldfield card. Only got 8 votes, and that's a tough card right there. And I don't know if you want to comment any on that, Ken, or not. Since,
I was pretty surprised, and when I say surprised, also excited to see that it got that many votes, because it's just one that, you know, when you look at all of these results, it's obviously very NASCAR centric. The F1 cards were pretty much all on the second page. I don't know, did any of the F1 cards make this page? It doesn't even look like any of the F1 cards did.
No.
So I was pleasantly surprised by that. And it's a set that just is older, not well known. And Barney Oldfield, his name, while he was associated with speed at his time, his name is not Richard Petty, Mario Andretti, or Dale Earnhardt, or Jeff Gordon. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that one receive 8 votes.
Yeah, well, I guess that's not bad. That's pretty good, actually. Okay. So at number 16, we had the 1998 Press Pass Signings Dale Earnhardt Jr. card number 39. It had 9 votes with 23.1% of the vote, along with the 1993 Texaco Davey Allison autograph number AU1, and Ken's going to like this one too, the 1961 Marhofer Indianapolis 500 AJ Foyt unnumbered card. All those got 9 votes, which was 23.1% of the voters. But I was glad to see the Marhofer get up there, because, I mean, that's a card, Ken, that people really don't know about. I mean, and not only that, that card is extremely rare.
It's very tough. It's probably tougher than the Oldfield we were talking about, to be honest, because of the way it was distributed.
Absolutely. And you've got the only card of that from that issue of that card that I have ever seen in my life.
Yes, that is the highest ranked card I have on this list. And yes, that was definitely one of my, whatever you want to call coffin cards, grail cards. And I was fortunate enough to pull that to win an auction for that last year.
Yeah, man, you did good on that one. Proud of you for that one. All right. So number 13 was the 1991 Trax Jeff Gordon card number 1. That's the one with the black border that everybody knows about. It's tough to grade because of the black border, but it got 10 votes with a little over 25% of the voting public voted for that one, along with the 86 Sports Star Photographics Dale Earnhardt card, which also has no number. It has a couple different backs. And probably the second toughest 72 STP card, the 72 STP Bobby Allison card, which is, like I said, I think it's like the second toughest card in the STP set. I don't know why those things are so tough, but they're extremely tough. So moving on here now, everybody knows the top 10, and I'll go through those real quick. With 12 votes each, you had the 1989 Max Dale Earnhardt card number 3 and the 1969 Panini Campionini Dello Mario Andretti card number 17. each got 12 with 30% of the vote. Next, we had the 2000 SP Sign of the Times Dale Earnhardt. It had 35% of the vote with 14 votes. Number 7 was, of course, the 1996 Press Fest Bernie Rubber. It had 15 votes with 38%. The next card, number 6 on the list, the 1988 Max Richard Petty card, number 43, had 16 votes with 41% of the vote. Then all these ones from 5 on up had, 50% or more of the voters voted for these cards. So, of course, it was the 87 World of Outlaws Jeff Gordon. It had 53.8% with 21 votes. The 83 Uno Dale Earnhardt had 22 votes with 56.4. The 88 Dale Earnhardt card number 99 had 28 votes with 71.8% of the voters. At number 2, the 1992 Trax Richard Petty Dale Earnhardt had 29 votes, and it had almost 75% of the vote. And of course, the big winner was the 72 STP Richard Petty, and it had 34 votes out of the 39 voters, and it had 87.2% of the vote. And I know that we've talked about that card a gazillion times here, so it's no wonder that card got so many votes. So
I just think whoever the 5 people that didn't vote for that card should not be allowed to vote next year. I mean, it's not even a card I'm that partial to, but it's sure one I voted for. I mean, it's the card.
It is the card. I was surprised too, because in early voting, I was watching it because I had a little bar graph that was showing me all the different, who was voting, or not who was voting, but how, what cards were being voted for. And in the early voting, that was 100%. And then all of a sudden it got maybe halfway through, and then it was like somebody didn't vote for it. And it got to 90 something. Then it went down a little bit more, and I went, because I thought for sure that would be a unanimous vote, but still 87% is pretty strong.
So did I. I agree with your sentiment. That is the 52 mantle of racing trading cards. It's not the Wagner, but it's the mantle.
Agreed. So that's how it broke down. Again, we appreciate everybody that voted.
Except for those 5.
Yeah. You 5 people who didn't vote for the Richard Petty card. No, just
you guys are never going to let me come back on the show.
No. So the website, when you hear this broadcast or you watch this broadcast, the website is going to be up. You can go to www.racingcardhof.com, and you can see it has all the rules and everything of how we vote. And then you can click on a little trophy that says 2024 inductees, and it'll show you all these cards with descriptions on there and everything. So it will be out there for everybody to look at, or you can scan the QR code there too.
All right.
So that's it, man. Thanks for everybody for voting for the cards you voted for the Racing Card Hall of Fame. We appreciate it. We're going to do it next year. We'll have, of course, we had the 10 that got inducted, so that's 10 less than the 40. Then the bottom 10 will be out. So we'll have 20 cards that will automatically be in, and we will be taking nominations for the other 20. And of course, that's not saying that you can't renominate a card that got knocked off the list. So feel free to nominate whoever you want for the Racing Card Hall of Fame next year.
And I just want to throw out that I saw some, oh, how come you don't have much F1 on here? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, it's y'all. Make sure you get your nominations in next year.
Mm-hmm.
The nominations were open. There's a reason that only 3 F1 cards made the list. There weren't that many nominated. So,
dang, John Force was in there, so he made pretty high.
Yeah, so keep listening, keep paying attention, keep watching the show, keep following these guys on their social media, and then next year, submit your nominations. That's how you get it on the list.
That's exactly how you get it on the list. And the cards with the most nominees, as we went through the process this past year, we ranked them, and then when we got towards the bottom, it got to be where there was a lot of ties, and that's where we voted as a committee to, put whatever cards we wanted, or that we saw fit that were the cards that should be on the list in that list to be voted on.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll wrap that up there, and time to go to King's Court.
Roll the beautiful bean footage, dude. Okay, this week's King's Court. Check out the very first honorable mention here. This was on the 2nd of February, 2008 Sports Kings Founding Fathers card. It's a 1 of 1 Bill France Sr. cut signature, BGS 9.5. And they also gave the auto a 9, which I'm surprised that they gave it that good of a grade. But they were asking $795 for the man who founded NASCAR. They accepted a best offer of $400 for that card. So I thought that was pretty neat. In fact, I never even knew this card existed till I saw it on eBay. It's like, wow, if I had known that, I mean, of course I need a job too to pay for some of this stuff, but that's pretty cool, man. You just don't see very many Bill France signatures senior signatures out there. Big Bill.
No, you don't. Nope. All right.
All right. Next up, honorable mention number 2. This is on the 12th of February. Check this out, man. This is 2010 Eclipse, Richard Petty Spellbound, and all these cards are 1 of 1s. And from what I understand, this was a contest, and it was a giveaway from a contest that apparently somebody, this person won, or they knew whoever won. But they were asking $599.99 for this card. These cards went for a best offer of $425 for these cards. And man, again, I wish I had some money to buy stuff like this, because this is stuff that comes around once in a lifetime. This will probably go into somebody's collection and probably will not pop out for a while.
If I had that, I would not take $600 for that. There's no.
That was cheap.
And I'm not like a Petty fan like you guys are either. I understand and respect that. Just seems so low.
It was very low. I mean, $425, that's less than $100 a card, man. For 1 of 1s, they're beautiful cards. And it's the King. I mean, come on.
It's pretty impressive. I think that was like I said, a good price, man. That was a good price.
It is a good price. I hate I missed it. I wish I had some money to buy it. That's beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. All right. So next up is our Joker of the Week. This is again on the 2nd of February, and we're going to make some comments about this. 1988 Max Race Cars Complete Uncut Sheet Set, first edition, Myrtle Beach. They were asking $2,400 for these cards or these sheets, and somebody went click and bought it for $2,400.
Wow.
Now, there's a lot of duplicate cards in here on these sheets. I'm going to make some observations here. We know for a fact that these cards were not issued in 25 card sheets. They were 50 card sheets, if I remember correctly. In fact, there's one right there on the picture. Go back up, Val, to the very first slide up there. Right there.
Right.
So somebody had to cut these in half. So technically, in my opinion, it's not an uncut sheet. It's a sheet that's been cut in half. These are sheets that have been cut in half. And not only that, the marks where they line up the colors and have the colors at the top, the little color bar from the printing. I'm sure the people that print cards know what that technical term is. I do not. That's also been cut off of these cards as well. So that's not on here. So although these things are uncut, technically it's not a uncut sheet per se, and that's my opinion, based on what I know. But they're still cool.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm looking to see if there's a Earnhardt on the sheet.
There's not.
Yeah, I think
there's no Petty, and there's no Brett Bodine.
Yeah, I'd say that's a little high, but that's just me. But yeah, the
Yeah.
printed marks are missing, right? The um like the contrast for the color,
Yeah.
to make sure that the color bleeds are right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So yeah, these, even like I said, technically they are uncut, but as they come from the printer, they are cut because it's cut down the middle. And I assume somebody did that to make it more, displayable, so to speak, if that's even a word. But you can see right there, like that one you're showing right now, Val, with the cover cards. You can see on the back that it says printed by Sheer Press on the back. So those are indeed the cover cards, and it looks like those are the mentions 10 cover cards. So technically you could cut those up, maybe get you a bunch of PSA 10s if you wanted, but I don't think anybody would want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right.
So yeah, I just want to make those comments. At least something that I noticed on there. At least in my opinion, that's what I think. That's what's going on. So anyway, congrats to whoever got it. I think it's still a cool thing.
Oh, it's definitely a conversation piece.
Definitely. All right. So moving on, our Jack of the Week, who is our young driver. This was the 7th of February. It's a 2021 Topps Chrome F1 Liam Lawson F2 Rising Star, 1 of 1. It says. They were asking $4,250 for this card. How much you guys think this card went for? Let's do a little Prices Right, high or low.
1,500.
Higher.
2,000.
I'm gonna say
higher.
I'm gonna say 36.
A little bit lower.
34.
A little higher.
35.
Ding, ding, ding. 35.
Wow.
Yeah, this card went for $3,500, man. I guess somebody's doing some prospecting.
That or somebody is in the Lawson family.
That. I think it's a little high for somebody unproven, but we've seen crazier money spent for crazier things. So it's not out of the realm of possibility somebody would spend this kind of money. Me personally, I would not. I think it's overpriced, but still a cool card. He is a rising star.
Yeah, congrats to the seller and the buyer.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Sometimes F1 stuff just amazes me.
Well, it's overinflated. I mean, you can flame me if you want, but it's overinflated. It's pumped up way too much, in my opinion. But anyway, let's move on. Our Queen of the Week. Go figure who this is. This is on the 13th of February. It's 2020 National Treasures Haley Deegan Rookie Jumbo Book sponsor patch. It says 1 of 1. And this is the only card that we're going to have tonight or today that went out for bidding. And this card went for $535 with 38 bids.
I think that's a pretty good price. I mean, that's a great looking patch.
I agree. That's a cool looking patch, man.
Right, and that's embroidered. That's not screen on. I always love the embroidered ones. I don't know why, but they're just more sophisticated, I think, to me.
I think so too. I think that if NASCAR, any division of NASCAR is going to be a premier series, I think you need to get away from that silk screen crap on the uniforms, on the driver suits, and let's do embroidery work and let's make it look really nice. So, and see, some drivers still do that. Other ones, I guess they just choose not to. Or maybe it's a sponsor thing or a team thing. I'm not sure, but I do not like the silk screen stuff at all.
Right.
But yeah, that's a cool card. Congrats whoever got it. I think they did good.
Yep. All right, let's keep it going.
All right, King of the Week. This is on the 9th of February. Wow, this is a beauty right here. It's a Dale Earnhardt 1999 Upper Deck SP Authentic Sign of the Times. And it's an SGC Authentic. They didn't get anything graded on it. They just wanted to get it authenticated. Now, they were asking $24.99.99 for this. Ken, how much did it go for? You're muted.
I said, I don't know, but that thing go quickly because I never even saw that in my saved searches. I'm going to say it probably went for more in the 1,400 range.
Keep going, brother.
2,000.
Higher.
More than 2,100.
Higher.
23, 33, 33.
I'm surprised it didn't land at that, but no, it's lower than that.
23, 33, 32.
Close, but no cigar. We'll go ahead and tell you guys it went for $22.50.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right.
I mean, that's one that I don't recall seeing in a while. So, I mean,
That makes me want to open my 99 SP Authentic box.
It does, doesn't it? But you're right, Ken. You don't see a lot of these 1999 Sign of the Times cards. You see more of the 2000s and the other ones than you see this one. So it's kind of a toughie.
I mean, and he's wearing a hat. He's got the gargoyles with the reflection on them. I mean, it's just an absolutely beautiful card.
It is. The autograph looks pretty nice. It's got a little bit of streaks in it, but if you zoom in on it, Val, you'll see at the bottom where the Sign of the Times is on the black. It does have a little chipping, unfortunately.
Yeah, I noticed that when you were talking the corners. So I think the authentic raid just kind of gets you in there as legit and protected.
Yep.
I don't necessarily know if grading the card gives it any more value. I mean, it's not going to be a 10, so I don't know if it's a 7, 8, 9 if it matters. It's so rare. You never see them. Never see the 99 stuff.
No, you don't. I think authentic was the way to go with this. So whoever did it, I think they did the right thing. And it looks great in that black holder too.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, that's SGC card holder looks awesome.
It does. So yeah, congrats to whoever got it. I'm impressed with how much you paid for it, but I think it's probably worth it.
They don't come up, like I said. None of us have seen it before, so
no, you don't hardly see them. All right, so let's move on. Our ace of the week, which is our 1 of 1. This was the 10th of February, and I'm a little perplexed with this one. Okay, it's a 2022 Topps Chrome F1 Silverstone Superfractor 1 of 1 Art de Grand Prix. It's a PSA 10. I will give it that. They were asking $9,999.99 for this card. I was amazed at the offer that was given and taken on this card. $6,000.
Wow.
That's way too much. That's
the F1 card group I was in. I mean, those people absolutely love these cards, though. And I'm not even talking the Superfractors. These seem to be heavily collected. And I think it's just something that maybe just the three of us don't get. But I can say that I do recall seeing, how popular these were, how people were trying to put the sets together of, again, not necessarily the Superfractors, but the other versions of the same card.
Yeah, I mean, I love the artwork. Don't get me wrong. It just seems to me like that's just high for that card. But, again, it's all in what you collect and all in what's popular and all in what you're willing to pay for something. And if you want to pay $6,000 for this card, that's great. I think the seller probably did pretty well on that card. But, being a NASCAR guy, we don't have a lot of posters and artwork and stuff like that. So maybe that's probably the reason I don't get it. And, but it's an amazing price, $6,000 for that card. But it is a PSA 10, so I'll give it that. And it is kind of cool. It's just, I just think it's just, the price is just a little high to me. That's just my opinion.
All
right. Last, but certainly not least, our Royal Flush, our highest priced card. This is on the 12th of February. It's Zhao Guan Yu. I like in the description they put his name backwards. Zhao Guan Yu, 2022 Topps Chrome Sapphire F1. I can never pronounce this word correctly. It's Padparasha, I think, is somebody. Please correct me because I do not know how to pronounce that. But it is a 1 of 1, and they were asking $15,000 for this card, which It's a beautiful card. That card with that pink ruby color is beautiful with that picture. I mean, it just looks great. But listen to this. They settled on a best offer of $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
It's pretty though.
You know, he hadn't done anything yet, but you know, I'm sure there's a lot of folks in his home country that probably, you know, really love him. You know, like we love other certain drivers, like me with Richard Petty. So if you're wanting to get that card, you're going to pay for it. So I mean, there's certain cards that I've wanted that I know I have paid more than I should have. But yeah, that's a great looking card. I mean, that thing's beautiful. It's a PSA 10, man, and it's a 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
10 grand. So it's a beauty. Congrats whoever got it, whoever sold it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's it for this week's King's Court, man.
All righty. I think that's all I have. I have nothing more to add. If when you guys do,
I got one thing for sure that I do want to add, and it's not any hashtags. It's picks for the Daytona 500. Real quick, who do you guys pick to win, and who's your dark horse? Go ahead, Val. I'll let you go first.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you. They put me on the spot. Okay, so Ryan Blaney and dark horse would be Noah Gragson.
Okay. And Ken?
I'm going to take, so that he can go for the Daytona Indy double, I'm going to pick Kyle Larson to win the race. And my dark horse is going to be Malcolm in the middle.
There you go.
Oh, wait, no. That's Xfinity. So no Frankie, no Frankie Muniz. I'll throw it out there. I'll go with AJ Allmendinger.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick Kyle Busch as the winner. I think it's his year. And of course, everybody knows who my dark horse is going to be. It's going to be Ty freaking Gibbs. So that's what I'm looking at. And you know, a while ago when I was looking at a little bit of the duels, it's like the Toyotas were doing pretty good. So hopefully we'll have a good Toyota showing. We'll see what happens. That's just me. That's who I'm going to be pulling for. But I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait till Sunday.
Yeah, we got a whole weekend packed here with Friday night through to Sunday. So
yeah, we do.
All right. Well, we've gone long, so we kind of wrap it up here. Appreciate everybody watching, listening to the podcast. Ken, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we will talk to you plenty of times this season. So
happy to come on anytime you'd like me here.
Yeah, a couple hashtags to throw out. Hashtag RCHOF for the Racing Card Hall of Fame. Go out there and check out the website at www.racingcardhof.com. And hashtag skid marks. And let's see, hashtag Slapfire. And that's all I got. And I'm going to stop talking.
All right. Well, we appreciate it again. Everybody watching, again, if you like the show, give us a like. If you really like the show, subscribe. We'll give you a shout out. Leave some comments on the YouTube channel. We'll give you a shout out as well there. And for me and Logan and Ken, we appreciate it again. And we are out of here. Catch you next week.